Hey guys, so I wanted to come on here and show you, discuss, talk about my favorite shades ever. Okay, and when I say this, I mean like what is like my favorite black of all blacks that I own? What's my favorite pink of all pinks that I own? What is my go-to brown, my go-to orange, like the ones that I can't live without, the ones which are above all others? Does that make sense? Because we have like multiples of different shades, different oranges, different browns, different pinks, different reds, but what one is my ultimate favorite out of those particular colors? Right, so my favorite purple of all purples is Dope by Kat Von D in the Pastel Goth palette. It was between this shade and there was a purple shade which is similar to it in the Dose of Colors Ice Cream palette, because I tend to go for those two for my most favorite purples. And especially as these are more pastel than they are like bright, and I absolutely love the way this one looks on my eyelids. I tend to use this one so often and that I had to actually pull back from using it because it's like, this is a limited edition palette. If I was to use all of it, I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. Like, no, I can't use all of it. So I had to kind of pull back from using it because I was using it that much. But that is my favorite purple of all purples. Then my most favorite blue of all blues has to be Cleopatra from the Nubian 2 palette by Juvias. And I've tried to make sure that the colors that I'm picking aren't all from Juvia's Place, because it's so easy to get kind of like caught up and swept up with the Juvia's Place line because their stuff is just so blooming amazing. This is what it looks like, one swipe of that blue, like that royal blue. Gee, just gorgeous. So whenever I want a shimmery blue, this is what I tend to go for. Because I don't really do blue looks, I tend to have like a matte blue down and then I would normally go in with a shimmery blue on top. It's just because I just don't tend to do matte blue looks or blue looks often, period. So whenever I do a blue look, I tend to draw for this quite often. On top of that, this palette also does have my favorite orange of all oranges, which is Morocco here. That's what that looks like that is a true orange. So pretty. Like, I can put this down like my first shade, the first shadow that I use, like in the background in my crease, and just blend it upward, and whatever I put over the top of it just blends so beautifully. This is like the orange of all oranges. I have to say that the Nubian 2 is quite a good colourful palette, but it's not like too out there colourful. Then my most favourite green is from the Totally Cute palette, and it is this one here, Storm Cloud. Oh my gosh, this is well loved. And this shadow is more of a duochrome, like green and with a undertone of brown, but I live for the green. Like, this is such a gorgeous green. The thing is, this palette also has a really nice light brown and a really nice chocolate brown. Like, all of the shadows in this palette is beautiful and they perform so amazingly, but this one, as you can probably see, it's such a well-loved shade. Like, I'm always digging into that shade whenever I draw for this palette. That shade's most likely going to get used. And then my most favorite yellow out of all yellows that I own, this one I found so easy, and it is this yellow here from the Zulu palette by Juvias. When it comes to certain colors like yellows, purples, most definitely purples, it's very hit and miss, and that's that shade there. But with yellows, I find that they can be very, very dusty. They can, like, sometimes they just don't pack on. And this one, yes, it is buildable, like I do have to build it up, but I get the level of color and coverage that I want. They also had a yellow in the Afrique palette that they recently released that was complete and utter trash to me. Like, sorry, but it really was. It was not a good yellow. But the yellow that they formulated in the Zulu palette, bomb.com. I can't deny it is a little bit dry, but the payoff is phenomenal. Really not a good thing that I just did there. Ooh. I literally just threw the palette across the room, like onto my bed. And I'm kind of like wondering, is it okay? I shouldn't have done that. My favorite peach shade is from the Chocolate and Peaches by I Heart Makeup, which is by Revolution. And it is the shade, Peach, which is this shade right here. This is my favorite peach shade. I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of been dug out a little bit because I use it that much. I absolutely adore that shade, and that's what that looks like there. That is my favorite peach. It's like a peachy pinky kind of color. So is it fair to say my favorite pink? I don't know. My favorite red is the red from the Coca-Cola Face Shop palette. Oh my gosh, I really like this formula. I have to say it's a little bit on the dry side. I can't deny it. It's a little bit dry. But this to me is like a true red. That is such a true red. And I will probably always draw for this color whenever I'm doing a red look. I need that red in my life. Oh my gosh. My favorite gold, it has to be Idia from the Warrior palette from Juvias. This gold, ooh, like just look at it on my finger. Just look at it on my finger. Yo, look at it on my arm. Oh my gosh, that's like the most perfect gold ever. Beautiful. And they also have my favorite bronze, which is Benin here. Oh my goodness, I have to say they smashed it with this palette. The shimmers in this palette, girl. So those are my favorite golds and my favorite bronze. And the one that I draw for the most is most definitely the bronze, because there's like a look that I love to do, and this bronze is just My favorite brown is called Sweet Shop. This brown here, the most perfect crease shade, the most perfect brown, the most perfect matte brown for me. It's like just a little bit deeper than my own skin tone. That's why it makes it such an amazingly perfect transition shade. I adore this brown, and I would say for anyone who wants like a brown kind of palette, go for this. Like, this is so beautiful. Is this like, I know a lot of palettes are kind of like this, but I'm starting to feel like this one and the original Nubian are along the same kind of line. I'm gonna check them out and see whether or not they are similar to one another, and see if this is kind of like a dupe for that. I know that this was like a dupe for the, what was it a dupe for? But yeah, I want to see if these two are like a dupe for one another, because they are kind of similar. My favorite pink. Now, I'm not a bright pink kind of gal. I'm more of a downplayed pink kind of girl. So this one here, Cream or Creme by Juvias in the Douce palette, kills it every time. This is like a pastel-y kind of pink. And this, when I just build it up a little bit on my eyes, oh, and it's so soft. Oh, when I build this up on my eyes, oh my gosh, look at that. That is a perfect pastel pink, and it's very different from this peach shade. Like, they look like they could be similar, but they're not quite. Absolutely beautiful. And again, as I said, I can build this up and I can make a beautiful baby pink kind of look. And lastly, my favorite black. Everybody needs a good black, and that is Chad in the Saharan. Yeah, this is the original Saharan, the Saharan palette. This is a gorgeous black. Like, that's black. Not a lot of palettes give that kind of payoff. That is that black. Oh my goodness, that is a gorgeous black. And the thing is, it is one of those blacks that you have to be careful with, because with dark colors, you have to be very, very careful that when you're blending them out, that you're not gonna go too far with it, because you can ruin a look. This is one of those kinds of shades, but when you really take your time with it and build it up and control it, the most opaque black there is. It's so pretty. I remember swatching this with, like, alongside some other black shades, and it's like none of them compared at all. My hands are completely dirty. So those are all of the shades that I absolutely adore. These are like my ride or die colors. Those are my baes, okay? Those are my baes. I would love to know, like, what is your favorite red? What is your favorite pink out of everything that you have in your collection? What is the best of the best? I'd love to know. So comment down below, or or even do this video yourself. Like, I would love to know, like, and then just leave the link down below. That's even better. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.